What's up, fellow nerds? My name is Stephanie, and welcome to For the Love of Nerd. This episode is brought to you by lawnmowers and meowing cats, because there's a lawnmower that won't shut up over there and a cat that won't shut up over there. So yeah, that's how this is gonna go. Can't do anything about it because of where I live. But all joking aside, today I am bringing you my May wrap-up. Now, it's actually the second to last week of May, so May's not quite over yet, but as I said before, I'm borrowing this camera and I need to give it back soon, so I'm pre-filming. And most of the books I have already finished. There's just one that is still in progress, but I plan to finish before May is over. So it's sort of cheating, but not really cheating. It's cheating. This month I managed to finish 7 books, which I was really actually very surprised about because I did a lot of traveling this month and there was a lot going on, and I thought that I had finished less, but I finished 7, which is usually a good number for me anyway. I tend to finish between 5 to 6 books a month. So yeah, that's a really solid number, and let's get into the books that I have. The first book that I was able to read in May was The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. Now, I only read the last 20 or so pages of this book actually on the 1st of May, so I read the bulk of it in April, but that's okay, it still counts. For those of you who don't know about the Dark Tower series, I don't know where you guys have been, but it's a series of 7 main books, and then there's a companion novel added in there. But it's a series of 7 books, and it's about a gunslinger named Roland, and he lives in a world that has moved on. And he is searching for, and has been searching for his entire life, the Tower. And the Tower is this mythical place that kind of binds all these worlds together, and he's been searching for it his entire life. So that's what this series is about. That's about all I knew going into it, and I think that's all I'm gonna say about it. But I really enjoyed this second book here. The first book that in the series that I read, didn't care for it very much, but this one just took off running. It was so good. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm actually in the middle of the third book right now, and I'm enjoying that one as well. So yeah, you guys should check out this series if you haven't yet. The movie is coming out in August, so I'm trying to get all the books read by then. But yeah, this is a good one. The next book that I read was First Rider's Call by Kristen Britton. This is the second book in the Green Rider series, so I can't say anything about the synopsis of this book, obviously, it being the second in a series, but I'll just briefly tell you about the first book. Green Rider is about a girl named Kerrigan, and she is on her way home from school after being suspended indefinitely. And on the road she encounters a Green Rider, and he is dying, basically. And he asks her to carry on his quest to deliver a message to the king. And so she takes this rider's message and tries to get to the king, and all sorts of shenanigans ensue from there. This is the continuation of her story. I'm really enjoying this reread of the series. I read it last year for the first time and just absolutely flew through it. So now I'm kind of taking my time trying to dig deeper into the story, because I want to be ready to read Firebrand later this year, which is the 6th book that came out recently. But I highly recommend this series. The first book does tend towards the more cheesy side of things. When I first read it, I spent the whole time going, I'm not really sure if I'm enjoying this or not. But this second book takes a leap with writing ability. The author really improved in this second book. So I urge you guys to give it a try. It's an excellent fantasy series that a lot of people don't know about, and I'm trying to recommend it to as many people as I can because it's really good. But yeah, I was happy to have finished this second book, and hopefully we'll read a couple more of them next month. Next up, I have volumes 25, 26, 27, and 28 of Rurouni Kenshin by Nobuhiro Watsuki. And this is a manga series about a samurai who takes place in a revolutionary war. And then after the war, after he's become famous for his fighting ability, he actually takes a vow never to kill and picks up a reverse blade sword so that it'll help him keep his vow. And the whole series is him trying to keep this vow not to kill even when his friends are in danger. So it's a really solid manga series, one of the first that I've read through completely. So yeah, I don't have the physical copies here to show you because I had to return them to the library, unfortunately, but Yeah, it's a really good series. I really enjoyed the character development that went on, which is not something that you can find very often in manga series. But I would recommend probably the first half or so if you guys aren't interested in reading the entire thing. The first half was probably the most solid story-wise. But yeah, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. This last book that I have here is the one where I'm cheating just a little bit. I haven't finished it at this point in time, but I'm planning to, and I've been reading it like a maniac. I have read a couple hundred pages in the past 2 days. So I'm gonna count it because I'm planning on finishing it before May is over, and that is The Wastelands by Stephen King. This is book 3 in the Dark Tower series, and I already talked a little bit about the Dark Tower series in this video, so this is the next book, and I'm planning on jumping right into the next book in the series as soon as I'm done with this one. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Hey guys, future Stephanie here. I'm sorry to interject yet again. I actually hate interjecting from the future, but I ended up reading more books in May, which I wasn't anticipating, but it happened. So I wanted to add them in here because they were really great books and I want you guys to see them. So I read 2 more books, brought my total up to 9, I believe, if I can count correctly, which I can't always. But yeah, I'm gonna quickly show you those 2 books so that you have a more complete understanding of what I read this month. So the first of these 2 books is The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. Now this is my physical copy, but I listened to it on audiobook, and I didn't think I was gonna finish it originally, but then I was driving all over Tarnation. Like I drove out to meet with Melissa, and then I had to drive out to get my ring cleaned and inspected, and that's like an hour away. So I did a lot more listening than I thought I was gonna do, and I ended up finishing this book. So this book is about 3 demigods who are welcomed into Camp Half-Blood, which is the setting of the Percy Jackson series, if you guys don't know. So these 3 demigods, Jason, Piper, and Leo, set out on a whole new adventure, whole new set of enemies, that sort of thing. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this book. The characters in this book are excellent. Like I really enjoyed getting to know them. Their backstories are very detailed and in-depth, and I really enjoyed that. But actually my favorite character from the story was probably Coach Hedge, which is funny because he's the one that we know the least about. He's very kind of one-dimensional, but he's very consistent, I guess you could say. He wants to fight people. Like that's his answer to everything, and just I found myself smiling every single time he was like, "Die, enemies, that's the solution to everything," and the other characters just getting more and more exasperated with him. It just made me laugh. So I really enjoyed this. It did take a little bit to get going. I've noticed with Rick Riordan's books, especially the ones at the beginning of the series, it takes a long time to world build, which is unfortunate because it tends to slow the pace down a little bit, but the endings are usually worth it. If you guys enjoy reading about Greek and Roman mythology, this is a really good option. This one does feel a little bit younger. It's middle grade and it's intended for younger audiences. But if you don't mind reading something that sounds a little bit younger, these books are excellent and they're always really, really funny. So give this one a read. I really enjoyed it. The next book I have for you guys is Saga Volume 7. I hope it's 7. I'll be really embarrassed if it's not 7. It is 7. Whew. And avoided a little bit of embarrassment there. Have Saga Volume 7 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Now this is a comic series, I believe. They come out in single issues. This is a collection, that's why it's a volume. But this is a story about 2 different species, one from a planet, one from the planet's moon, and their worlds are at war, but they fell in love and had a child. And this story follows their adventures trying to survive as a family. Now, this is not for children. There's a lot of graphic content, violence, nudity, drug use, that sort of thing. And we can get into, whether or not that sort of thing is healthy to consume, but that's probably a video for another day. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is definitely not for children, so use your discretion. But that being said, it's an excellent story. It dives into a lot of different politics and questions about race and that sort of thing. And it's just a fun story. There's a lot of deeper issues that it deals with, but it's entertaining as well. and the art is fantastic. I would definitely recommend this if you can handle content that's a little bit more graphic. This one actually made me cry, which those of you who know me, I don't cry very often, but this one really got me. So yeah, I really enjoy this series, but consume it with, discretion if you guys are not into graphic things. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's good. I enjoy it. But yeah, this one was really good. I'm really happy that I read it. I read it in one sitting. That's how good it was. That's gonna do it for this video today. Please let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, especially if you didn't like them. I'd like to hear some differing opinions as opposed to what I think. I love to debate about books. It's one of my favorite things to do. But if you guys like this video, please go hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. Josh and I would love to talk to you guys in the comments. We want to interact with you guys as much as possible. As always, may your books be many and your interruptions few. Bye guys! Say hello, say I've ruined so many takes, I don't know what to do with myself. Right? It's a light.